In step 4, we will look at using the FTP tools inside Dreamweaver. Now, this is up to you as far as moving your files around. You can continue to use FileZilla, you can use CyberDuck, you can use whatever you like, all right? But you should be aware that you can also use Dreamweaver as your FTP tool. Okay, so let's take a look. And we will first go up to the Site menu. We'll go to Manage Sites. We are working with our demo folder. This is what we set as our root folder in step 1. So I'm just going to click Edit. And now in our categories over here, I'll just go to Servers. And at this point, we do not have a connection to a server, so we'll click the plus sign, and we will give this a name. So I'm just going to call this this demo. We will connect to the MAT server, so mat.miracosta.edu. Okay. The connection to the Miracosta server, the MAT server, will be secure FTP. Now, if you're working with a web host and you have a website and you can use FTP to connect, you're going to have to get the directions from your web host because they may be using one of these other options. All right, so the MAT server, we should be able to use SFTP, and then our SFTP address is mat.miracosta.edu. Authentication, user and password. The port should be 22. Your username, you're going to use your surf credentials. Again, this is for the MAT server at Miracosta. So my credentials are a little different than yours. Your username would be would start with a W. Let's go ahead. Mine is pretty much just my name. And then you will add your password, which you use for your surf credentials. I got to remember what mine is now. Just a second. See if I got it right. I tend to save the passwords because I'm working on my local office computer. If I were working on someone else's computer, I probably would not save, or if I were at school or in a lab, I probably would not save. Let's go ahead and do a quick test and see if I have the information correct. Dreamweaver connected, so everything was successful. Excellent. Let's click OK. And now we will save. And you should now see your server connection. If you need to make an edit, you can always click on the pencil and go in and make edits. We should be good to go, so I'm going to click Save. OK. Done. All right. Now again, as I mentioned in a previous video, sometimes those buttons which you press between a Mac and a PC, they have a little bit different verbiage in the commands, but I'm sure you'll figure that out. Okay, so we are now connected to a server. We are connected to the MAT server, I should say. We would go about doing our work when we want to write files to the server and actually test what we're working on a live web server. All you should have to do is click this little button right here to connect. I have a preference. I like to expand the remote access, so I'll click this button, which will open up a window for me. Dreamweaver likes to throw up these helps every now and again. Okay. All right, so I like to open this window, and when I want to close it, all I have to do is again click this icon. So I can toggle my access to my server on and off. Then what you will see is your root level folder, which you managed like we did in step 1 in this window. You'll see your server once you connect in this window. So all we need to do is click our connection. We should make our connection. We should see our files on the MAT server. So we could go, in this case, to the MAT 125 prior. Again, this is the MAT server for Miracosta. We'll do a separate demo for connecting to the web server, the rogue web server at SDSU. All right, so you should be able to simply find your folder. Okay, so I'll go down and find mine in the student folder. And you should be able to take your files. I'm not going to do this because I don't want my files over there right now, but you should be able to select a file and simply drag it to whatever folder you want. Or you can open folders, obviously, and take all of your files and drag them inside. All right? So once you're done, we can go ahead and disconnect. We can collapse the panel. We can go back to working. And when it's time to add files, just go back. Again, connect. Drag files back and forth. All right, so basically that's how you set up your FTP access.